Hi everybody, my name's Mark. Thank you for joining me here in the den at Friendship Shaving. I hope you're managing to keep well. And this week I've got the Masamune Nodachi razor to share with you. It really is a lovely looking razor. I think this handle makes it look very modern. And Malcolm, who loaned me this razor, has kindly sent through the open comb guard plate. So I'm going to be using that part the way through my shave. I'm going to be using a Gillette Platinum blade today, a brand new one, and we'll see what that's like with this razor. The soap I'm going to be using is from the club, and it is a sample of their Oriental oud, and this really is a lovely scented soap. It is a reasonably soft soap, and I've put some in my bowl already. This is a bowl that I'm tending to use more and more lately. It is actually a soup bowl, and it was given to me by Flash Boredom, aka Graham, and I enjoy this bowl very much. I'm thinking of putting some of these little rubberized feet in the bottom just to give a little bit of texture to the bottom of the bowl, but you don't need that, you know, it works very well. And the brush I'm going to be using today is a Yaqibrush, a small metal brush. It's got a heavy base to it, and of course it's got the tuxedo knot. So I will just start building a lather in this bowl, and then I will face lather once I've got it going. This soap is from Arianna and Evans, and it is a special edition from their membership site, which is the club. I don't think it's made anymore, but it's a lovely scented soap. It has oud and vetiver with notes of saffron, lavender, lemon and orange. What I'm getting immediately is the oud and the vetiver. And the oud has kind of a almost a licoricey type scent. It's not a pure licorice or anything like that, but it's definitely, to me, a hint in that direction. It mixes very well with the vetiver, but also I'm able to pick out the lavender and the lemon and orange. I can't say about the saffron. I've got no idea what saffron smells like. But the scent for this soap was developed by Alexandria Fragrances. Now there we go. I think I've got plenty there on my brush, so I'll just damp my face and we'll get going. I have a bar of hand soap here that is just a simple soap. But one of the things I like about using that particular hand soap, although it's a simple soap, it feels, the lather you get from it feels very luxurious. There's something about the richness of the lather that I like, and sometimes I feel that is missing in some soaps. And let me tell you, it is not missing in this soap. Once I start to build this up, it has a very luxurious feel to it as I'm applying it to my face. I think the knot on this brush was a bit wet because I've got water dribbling down my hands, so I may not need to add any more water to this. We'll see how we go. It certainly is another very nice soap from Arianna and Evans. I mentioned the club, which is their membership site. It is $12.50 for 6 months membership. And that gives you access to special edition soaps and limited edition soaps and certain offers. They offer, I think it's 20% off the Arianna and Evans soaps that are on the club website. Quite an interesting idea, certainly if you were looking to spend a little bit of money over a few months with Arianna and Evans. That seems like quite a good idea. Now here we got to the point where this brush feels absolutely lovely, and the soap has just a lovely feel to it. I'm going to add more water. There wasn't too much in the brush after all. I noticed that the tips on this brush are grey rather than white, which I've had in other Yaqibrush tuxedo knots. I don't think it's a different knot, but somehow it feels very nice. Nicer than some of the others. I'm just going to take this back to my bowl, see if there's a little bit more soap hiding in the bottom here. I don't know about you all, but I find it much easier to load my brush straight from the puck rather than taking an amount of soap and putting that in my bowl. Obviously with some soaps you need more in your bowl than others, and it's something that causes me a little bit of an issue sometimes when I'm shaving. Whereas if I load from the puck and I load for 20 or 30 seconds, I know I'm going to get tons of soap in my brush. Now, having said that, I think I've got quite enough in my brush today. Let's put this blade in this razor. It is a lovely razor. Now this soap is really slick, but that handle is quite alright with this. These little spheres that are cut out of the top. Now the Masamune Nodachi is, according to the website, longer and sharper, and it urges us to go expert. So we are doing that today. It has a 0.90mm blade gap and a positive 0.13 blade exposure. The handle itself is 108mm long. I couldn't find the weight on the Tatara website, so according to my totally inaccurate analog kitchen scales, this razor is about 104 grams. There's a 24-degree shaving angle on the Tatara razors. Now, I can't judge 6 degrees on my razor when I'm holding it to my face, but with this razor in particular, it is very easy to find the exact right angle. And although it has the larger blade gap of the Tatara razors and a positive blade exposure, it is a remarkably smooth and comfortable shave. There is a little bit of aggression there, of course there is. But at no time have I found this to be uncomfortable. And it really is a terrific razor. It's really nicely balanced. I've been enjoying both the Masamune and this Masamune Nodachi very much indeed. The diameter of the handles on these is a little odd. The smaller Masamune has an 11mm handle diameter, and this one is a 12.5. So if you had a 12 or 13mm razor stand already in your den, rather than buying this very nice one from Tatara, you might have to just line it with a little piece of plastic. My friend Sven did that, and it works very well indeed. You know, this is so smooth. It really is a lovely razor. And you know, in the last video when I was using the dark Masamune, I completely forgot to tell you the prices of these razors, so I'll do that now. The smaller, lighter Masamune in this brushed steel finish is €149, and that is exactly the same price as the larger, heavier Masamune Nodachi. So there we go, both razors are the same price, but they do go up in price if you have the coated version, the dark version, and the price goes up from €149 to €164. Now I'm just going to swap this closed comb plate with the open comb version. Of course, that will change the blade gap and the blade exposure. And very basically, I have them laid out here. This is the Masamune head, and the Masamune head provides a negative blade exposure. No matter which guard plate you use it with. So the Masamune head with the Masamune guard is 0.63 blade gap and a negative 0.13 blade exposure. If you use the Masamune head cap with the open comb, it is a 0.73 blade gap and a minus 0.10 blade exposure. And if you use the Masamune head cap with the Nodachi guard plate, it is a negative 0.03. I will come on to the Nodachi cap in a moment. Now this scent has changed slightly since my brush has been sat on the windowsill. It's become a little more licoricey, if anything, just for the moment. I find it a very unusual scent, oud. And to my surprise, it's something that I like once I tried it, and discovered that the kind of licoricey smell from it is not how I imagined. I imagined a sort of a licorice scented soap, which didn't appeal at all. But like a lot of these things, we don't really have any idea how they're going to smell until we get them on our skin. This is a tremendous soap, typical Arianna and Evans. It's a fantastic base. The cushion on there is really phenomenal. It's really, really good. A primary and secondary slickness is excellent, you know. Arianna and Evans, terrific soap. So I'm really glad to have got to try this one. Now here we go. This is the Nodachi cap with the open comb. I'll start from the beginning. The Nodachi cap with the Masamune guard plate is a neutral blade gap. No, it's not. It is a 0.63 blade gap, but a neutral blade exposure, and I used that in my shade last week. The Nodachi cap with the open comb is 0.73 blade gap with a positive 0.05 blade exposure. And of course, as I told you, the Nodachi cap with the Nodachi guard plate is 90.90 blade gap, positive 0.13 blade exposure. It's enough to rattle your brains, that, isn't it? So you've got lots of combinations that you can choose with this. Now this is a nice shave, but I don't find this open comb as comfortable as the closed comb, so I'm going to go back to that in my next pass. It is very nice, it's very nice indeed. But I've been finding it not quite so easy to get the right angle on this. I tend to shave a bit more like that than a bit more like that for some reason. So with this one I have to kind of concentrate a bit more to find that exact right angle. And it's just not as smooth and not as comfortable, even though this guard plate has a bigger blade exposure and a bigger blade gap. I feel as if this could be really rounded off a little bit more and smoothed out the ends of the open combs. Still a nice shave, but definitely not as comfortable for me. So we'll take that off and we'll just swap straight back to this one. I must admit, I like the way that there's a little piece on the top of the handle here and it fits right into the underside of the guard around the post, and it really firms everything up very well indeed. So I think you're going to see me use all my samples up in the coming weeks. I've decided I'm going to pick one up and I'm just going to use it till I've finished with it. I do like samples. They are especially great because I have a shaving channel, so it gives me something different to talk about whenever I use a different sample. They are a more expensive way of buying soap, without a doubt, because you only get a small sample and you pay more per gram than you would for the whole tub. But for me, they work very, very well indeed. But I've a few lovely samples of soap and it's about time to get through them, I think. Just with the way things are at the moment with this coronavirus, I've been trying not to buy things, and so the postman doesn't come to my door as often. That's the theory behind it anyway, and I wouldn't like to catch something, but apparently this coronavirus that we're all experiencing, I was reading it can sit on an inanimate object for 72 hours. So it was just my thought that if you are receiving packages, you might want to just put them down and leave them for a couple of days before you open them. And when you take the package off the doorstep, after you've put it down or after you've opened it and disposed of the packaging, make sure you wash your hands really, really well. Keep yourselves and your families safe. Now you can hear this razor is just taking the hair straight off. It's terrific. It's a funny thing because this now is more aggressive than the open comb, but it's just so much more comfortable. Obviously with the blade exposure there's a little bit of blade feel. And there is a little bit of bite to it. I find myself wanting to be really careful around here. And when I finish the shave, it does feel like I've had a close shave, but it is a terrific razor and a terrific shave. Really very enjoyable. Now let's put that back up in its little holder. Move the brush out of the way so you can see it. Now the oud is definitely the predominant scent in the soap with the vetiver. God, do you know what? The slickness, incredible. So I'm just going to rinse my face a little bit. And I'm going to put on a little bit of alum with my clear alum block. Now, I had a little email from Manny, who hosts SoCal Shave, a shaving channel, and was asking where I bought my clear alum block. Now, as far as I can remember, and don't hold me to this, I think I got it from Connaught Shaving. But it wasn't a long time ago. I know it wasn't expensive. And that was very good. I've got just a little bit of mild sting everywhere. Nothing to worry about. I had a very nice, very close shave. So just let that sit for a moment. Anyway, I was going to say, check out Manny's channel if you haven't already, and I will find the link and pop it in below. Very nice fella. Now I'm going to use in a moment my Club Cola post-shave balm from Wickham's. I think as the Oriental oud is mixed with saffron, lavender, lemon and orange, then the Club Cola balm will go with that quite well. So that's what I'm going to use today. But I do find that this balm is a little bit thick for me. So I've had it in my den quite a little while. It's something else I really need to use up, so I'm going to be doing that. But I'm going to water it down a little bit, so to speak, with my Lucky Tiger, which has a lovely citrusy, orangey scent. So we'll do that. We'll get a little bit of this on my hand and just pop in a couple of drops of face tonic. And just rub that together, and that now feels really good. Oh my goodness, it smells good too. Put some up there, not my arms. Now that is my shave for this week. I hope you've enjoyed it. I certainly have. Fabulous razors, these Tatara razors. I've shaved with a lot of very nice razors, but I've enjoyed these. I've enjoyed these very much indeed. But then again, I do enjoy most of the razors I shave with. You take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time around. All the best now. Bye bye.